Good morning, Internet. Well, it's morning for me anyway. Welcome to Monday Miniatures Ramble with me, Doc Eon, for Monday, the 6th of January 2020. Or as we call it around here, 13th day. It's the first ramble of this year. So we're going to start out with everything that I got finished, well, during the last week of last year and sort of, it was sort of a half week of 2019 and a half week of 2020 since last Monday. As you can see, I finished these 4 remaining red box minis that I started a few weeks ago. These are all some female, well, some sort of casters, some sort of wizards or witches or clerics or something, and this dude who's clearly a cleric, well, friar, a monk of some sort. And not much to say. I mean, I think I've mentioned before, these red box minis are a little bit difficult to get the details right, especially in the faces, because they're very, very delicate. They're true scale, but at least they're metal. I mean, their resin would have been even harder. And I think I got I sort of improvised on the colors, and there was some back and forth, but I'm happy with how they turned out overall. And yeah, let's move on. I also finished all of these mimics. Well, there's a lot of them. The difficult ones were the wells, because they're such complex assemblies. But otherwise, as you can see, they're all matched pairs, one normal thing and one creature coming alive. The piles of coins were a little tricky to get some variation in the colors, not just have all of it be gold. Added in some silver there, but not a lot, because having it 50-50 would have looked really scattershot and kind of it would have looked weird, trust me. I noticed after the fact that on the promo pic, the company had painted these lumps as kind of goldish color, like they were, but I mean, gold ore wouldn't look all gold like that. It would be streaked. It's really difficult to paint and represent what actual ore would look like, so I just painted as coal. I thought that was easier, and I think they look a little more like coals. And yeah, not a whole lot to say there either. Still picks at the end. And what's this? Even more. I have finished a ton of minis this week. Well, it's because a lot of them were relatively simple to paint. I mean, the mimics were kind of rough and ready paint jobs, and these guys are all in the same paint scheme, basically, and it's one that I've used before. So the cultists, along with their weird sort of headless dog creatures, and the 2, well, shoggoths or something, they also came out okay. No real challenges here, except color matching. I mean, like I think I've mentioned, they've done a total of 3 Kickstarters with this basic idea with these cultists, and I painted all 3 of them. Because I painted them at different times, the colors will be slightly different. The colors of the tentacles are slightly different shades of pink, and the robes are slightly different shades of turquoise. Because I don't write down my color combinations. But that's because I don't really care for it to be completely uniform. I mean, I'm fine with a little variety. They might have gotten their robes from different tailors, who knows? Or maybe they couldn't get the same material each time or the same dyes each time. They needed a new batch of new robes. So that just adds to the realism. Yeah, so I'm starting 2020 well in the black. There's some minuses in the sense that at the end of this video you'll see some newly arrived minis adding to the purchase pile a little bit, but I'm well ahead as of now. Let's see if I can keep it that way all year long. But let's move on to the unfinished or just started stuff. So there's really only one model left in the queue that didn't get finished. It's the Ramble. It's taken a while. I feel kind of done, at least sort of first pass at the body, the main body, the blue-white portions. So the spine isn't painted at all, and the claws, eyes and teeth, and the base, that's what's left. But most of it is this sort of bluish white, and I think I like it the way it is right now. It's not as white as if you look at the box art is even whiter. But I feel this it's a nice look, but it's too washed out for me. It's not contrasty enough. I think this version is made for photography. That's why it's relatively low contrast compared to my version, because mine is intended for gaming, and it should be viewed on the table, and it needs to pop, so I need to bring up the contrast. It's not a display piece. But, you know, I'll paint the other parts and see what the color balance is like. I might still need to shift the blue parts, maybe bring up the white even more, or bring it down, make it darker. We'll have to see. It kind of depends on how the yellow parts turn out. And, I mean, the bone probably won't affect that much. But, you know, now that I've done this is like 90% of the surface of the model is done. So hopefully the rest will go relatively quickly in the week to come. All right, just a little quick time warp here. We're going back in time to, what is it today? Friday? I'm sort of lost when I'm not working. I forget which day of the week it is. Anyway, I just wanted to show you what this Naga Queen from Avatar's War looks like before assembly. It's a freaking nightmare. So we've got the upper body here, the lower body, the main snake portion. We have the tip of the tail of the snake. So that's just 3 for the body. Here's the head. We have 4 arms. 2 with short swords, and 1 with an arrow, and 1 with a bow. And then we have a quiver and a scabbard. This is 3, 4, 6, 8, 10 pieces for this little mini, which I will probably fit onto a 30mm base. Yeah, this is going to be a nightmare to assemble. Getting these connection points. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So is this would have to be the bow. Or is it? No, this is the arrow. Yeah. Getting these things to stick. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm going down into this cavern. If I don't return, give all my minis to some local gaming club. That's my last will and testament. And here's the new stuff, primed and ready. Well, this one I haven't really primed. I don't put primer on the translucents. What I do is give them a coat of varnish, matte varnish in this case, to let paint stick to them better. And that's all I've done with this one. So how did this one turn out? Okay, so I've put all the pieces on there. A lot of pinning. There is 6 pins in here. Each arm is pinned. The tail section here is pinned. And even the scabbard has a little pin on it to make it stick. It's only just, well, the upper body is glued straight on, the head, because it's in a socket, so it fits fairly well, and the quiver is just flat, on a flat surface, so that sticks pretty well. What I couldn't do, I looked up some pictures on their website. They've renamed this model now to Medusa, and the bow in that picture is held kind of like gangsta style. It's held out like horizontally, with a hand up like this, which is a weird way to shoot a bow. There was absolutely no way, unless I did some really heavy modeling to make it fit that way. I didn't feel like doing that. So, and the pose of the left hand, she's not actually aiming at anything right now. She's just kind of preparing to draw the bow. She's like, you have to imagine she's in mid. She's just drawn the arrow from the quiver. It is sort of moving to put it on the string and draw, but it's caught. You've caught the action kind of in an awkward moment there. That's my explanation for why it's so strangely posed. But it did go together, at least. These were no issue. This one, of course, this one has a strange, the bow has a strange curve to it that was hard to replicate the bottom part on the top, but yeah. Interestingly, there were 2 options for the head here. There was one with a hood, but I liked the one with the hood had no ponytail sticking out of it, and I liked this long braid of hair that I want to paint that, so I used that head instead. And the others, no issue at all. So, and you know, compared to the past few weeks, this might seem like a very small amount of minis, but as I've said, this is the week I go back to work. Today is my last completely free day. Tomorrow is sort of a startup day, and then from Wednesday it's full steam ahead for the spring semester. But I think this batch is manageable, so we'll see. Well, hello there. What is this? Oh, it's another package from Reaper with a bunch more minis. Let's just pour them all out and see what it is. So this was my second order this December for the Christmas promotion, because I wanted some more of these special Christmas minis, namely these ghosts. The Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, and Christmas Yet to Come. And the reason I had to place 2 orders was because of how the promotion was set up this year. Initially, the thing was that you could get 1 special Christmas mini for every $50 or euros in your order. And because there were 6 that I wanted, 3 older ones that I didn't have, and these 3 new ones, that would have meant I would have to place like a €300 order. That was a bit heavy. So I went for half of that. I ordered, the last one was 150. So I got the 3, and I got the 3 older ones that I didn't have before in that order. But then after the promotion, they said, okay, so any leftovers, we're just selling them as normal minis now. You can just place a normal order for them. So I did that. So this was the second order. So I got all of them. And I've been going through the internet has saved images of the older promotions on various different spots. So I've been able to go through the past few years and see if there are any missing for me. And the thing is,
they've been doing these 12 Days of Reaper promotions for a while now, but it's only since 2016 that they have been only Christmas-themed minis. Before that, a lot of the stuff you could get was just older limited edition minis that they brought back, you know, for a limited time for that promotion. A lot of them were the limited edition Sophies, which now, this year, they've just released all of them in their ordinary catalog, so you can get them whenever you want. And there were a few others. And so I've looked over it now, and I actually have all of those special Christmas minis that they've released ever since, well, the early 2010s. There's still a few special edition limited minis that I don't have. I kind of regret one of the first years that I actually took part in this promotion and ordered something from it. There was a female barbarian mini that is not in the normal catalog that I didn't get, and I have not been able, she has not turned up since then. I don't know if you know the one I mean. She's in a kind of a, well, fur bikini plus a fur cloak with a wolf's head hood and holding a two-handed axe. I'd like to get that mini, but oh well. Anyway, because I placed an order of a certain amount, I got yet another of this female genie, and I realized I have this in the Kickstarter, in the Bose 4 Kickstarter as well. So now I've got the one from the Kickstarter, 2 from last order, plus this one. I've got 4 copies of this darn mini. Don't know how many genies I'll need, but oh well. Then I got, oh yes, I realized that I didn't have the Santa Mouseling and Helper either. So there's 2 little mouselings, or a mouse, 2 little mouselings here. But, you know, all these Christmas minis I'll put away for painting next year. Maybe. Or the year after. And the genie, I don't know what I'll do with the genie. Maybe I'll give some of them away to my friends. Then, what I did to fill out this order was I got 4 copies of this thing. It's called the Addercop. It's the monster that in D&D is known as an Ettercop with an E. I think that's what it's supposed to be, which is a kind of a Spider-Man creature. Not Spider-Man as in the superhero, but humanoid spidery thing. And it might look a bit boring, they're all the same, but I realized from looking at the pictures on the, even on the Reaper's website, some of the painted samples, because these are metal and they're not completely tin, there's still a little bit of lead in the alloy, you could actually bend the arms and reposition them somewhat. So you can put the arms in different poses and to make them look a bit more different. But this is like a standard D&D monster that I've never had a mini for before. So these 4 will go into production to be prepped to start painting them next week. That is the first thing from this order. But you know, I need more than those 4 relatively simple monsters to paint if I'm going to keep busy during a week. So I went into my stash of hassle-free minis and I picked out a bunch of children. We have the Village Kitties. In camera here. Let's see. Oh, that's in better focus. So we have some Village Kitties here, which are sort of medieval, and these ones are actually called Medieval Kids. But these are another 3 on a sprue, but they have weapons, and these are like just civilians. These look like they're playing it being adventurers, maybe. One is a bow, one is a sword, and one has some sort of, is that a mace or something on his shoulder? I don't know. Anyway, and then going even further afield, we have the 3 demon children, which, well, this one has horns and a scythe, so that's pretty demonic. Not sure what's demonic about the others exactly. This one just has a broom. More of a witch child, perhaps. But we'll see when I unpack them. And this was this loose miniature. who's also sort of a wannabe adventurer. He has a helmet. He's got a cuirass as well, and a flail, spike and chain, ball and chain. Weird. And he has no name. Well, he probably has a name and it has to be a catalog. There was no name label on this one. I don't know what. Then we have this one. Okay, I think this is the same mini in different versions. We have Alice and Cat. A girl, and I think this is also, her name is also Alice? Well, she has a different hairdo. She has curly hair instead of straight or wavy, and is carrying a doll. And I mean, there's nothing that says these have to be fantasy. These could be modern day, but, you know, whatever. So that's 3, 6, 9, ooh, 13. A lot of kids. And I mean, we'll see how long it takes to paint these up. I mean, I'm thinking because they're so small, the application of paint will go quickly, and there's no reason to have as many layers, because with these really tiny minis, you're gonna have to make the contrast pretty high between highlight and shadow. So that means fewer layers in total. So they might be speed painted. On the other hand, because they're so small, I have to be very careful with the brush work and the placement of the paint. So that might take longer. We'll see. Anyway, that was the plans and everything else for the first Ramble of 2020. Good start, I think. Let's keep going, and join me here again in a week. Same day, same channel, same Dakian. But until then, I'm just wanting you to click like and subscribe and comment, and yeah, just be back in a week. I'm signing off.